Season 7 of the finals is called The Divide. It comes with a new arena that reflects that name, Nozomi Citadel. So let's dive in and take a closer look at some of the arena's more interesting features that you might not have seen yet. Nozomi Citadel is a stunning cityscape that is split down the middle by a visual rift that separates the corporate architecture of an official sponsor of the game show, Vaiiya, multi-co cybersecurity firm, from the vibrant, organic, cyberpunk and Japanese vaporwave-influenced Tokyo-esque district of CNS. This hacker collective has been messing with the game show since late in Season 1 and stamped their mark on the game with the hacked Horizon map in Season 2. A couple of days ago, Embark Studios published the video you're watching right now, where the game's lead environment artist Joachim Stigson introduced Nozomi Citadel. So to complement that, I thought I would use the opportunity I had a week or so ago when I was invited by Embark Studios, along with other content creators, to try out the new arena ahead of time, to focus on recording some of the more interesting details around the arena, allowing us a brief little deep dive here. Before we jump in, if this is your first time watching one of my videos, just know that I'm a member of Embark Studios' content creator program, and while this particular video isn't sponsored by them, I've tagged it as a promotion to keep that relationship nice and transparent. Let's begin with the rift between the Vaiiya and CNS sides of the arena. The rift, which is awash with light, runs east-west in a straight line between buildings through the centre of the map, and without doubt is one of the most beautiful parts of any map in the game. For part of the map, it passes through a couple of lower levels of floors that connect the buildings on either side, and those floors bend up into the light and have moving blocks that pulse, similar to the blocks on the Horizon map. The rift has a rainbow-like strip of colours, again like that seen on Horizon, which also streams upward into the sky with large blocks floating up. This is even more apparent in the gorgeous night variant of the arena, where different coloured blocks from each side of the rift can be seen morphing into one another. At the ends of the rift, it cascades like a waterfall off the ends of the map, and extends off into the distance where more large blocks can be seen moving up the rift into the sky. It has continuous, high-pitched synth sounds and gentle crackles associated with it, and its prismatic beams of light are supplemented by floating glitch squares and stars. The walls adjacent to it are filled with glitches. As you move through the rift, there's also a sort of visual warping effect that occurs. At the east end, God rays stream down into the empty space below. It's a very special part of the map. The Vaiiya and CNS sides of the map have an almost weekday and weekend aspect to them. You can easily imagine the cold corporate pavements of the Vaiiya side being empty on a Sunday afternoon, while the CNS side is bustling with people heading out for ramen and an hour or two spent with their friends at the local arcade or using the CNS labelled vending machines. The CNS side is much more organic as well, with plants in the process of starting to take over buildings and streets. A family of holographic humpback whales swim through the sky on the side of the arena, and their eerie calls can be heard some distance away. Mini neon signs, almost all in Japanese, are scattered around the area saying things like Imagine, Dream, and another says Discovery, which was the working title for the finals. But there are other messages which have more depth to them, although just bear in mind I've used Google Translate to interpret these, so there's room for error. This one says, the light is divided and turns into memories, and then fragments of light drift in the rapids. And this one reads, in an ocean of memories, fragments of light are tears, which seems a little similar to Tears in Rain, which is a 42-word monologue consisting of the last words of character Roy Batty, portrayed by Dutch actor Rutger Hauer in the 1982 Ridley Scott film Blade Runner, as it includes the line, all those moments will be lost in time like tears in rain. This partially visible sign that can also be seen elsewhere and is located near a large inflatable Namatama that sits beyond the walls of the map reads, Discover the Unknown. Others read Playground and Failed to Connect Consciousness, or simply CNS. And this neon-backed sign reads Nightlight Tower. Billboards on the CNS side show koi fish swimming, which were previously an Easter egg teasing the Kyoto arena. Nico Alley Apartments is possibly a reference to Nico Alley Anime, which itself is named after a popular film location in Onomichi, Japan, known as Cat Alley. The apartments are probably the most stark portion of the CNS side of the map, and they have hallways where ferns grow amongst the basic apartments. An old-school cyber cafe is lined with desks of computer screens, and oddly, desks and chairs being disrupted by a glitched wall, with a screen upside down under the desk and a chair sitting on the wall and another on the ceiling. Maybe something for the Easter egg hunters to investigate here. The upper floor has a tree growing in it and is littered with CRT TVs stacked high against the walls, which also emit what sounds like a jumbled audio transmission. There's also a game arcade. The sign on the door reads Circuit Maze, and the sign above reads Game Center Coin Slot. The arcade includes 1980s style games and pool tables. The games include Moist Man's Revenge, which is a follow-up from Moist Man Reloaded, which is the game cartridge seen during the weapon inspection for the M11 cartridge gunner skin. That was level 24 of the Season 2 Battle Pass. This game's name translates to Hidden Forest, and the racing game to The Final Drive. There are various high scores on this, including one for Rob, 4001, so maybe something else for the Easter egg hunters there. There's an unnamed game that has insert Nama token to play on it. It even looks like little Nama Tamas are running around on it. And a game with a ramen bowl on it appears to be named King Ramen. There's also a Street Fighter-like game called Final Match. Signs on the wall of the arcade read Dream and Imagine like we saw elsewhere. Let's move over to one of the most beautiful parts of the arena, the Sento or Japanese bathhouse. Aside from the communal bathing areas typical of these bathhouses, there's an empty swimming pool with a slide that is apparently functional. I didn't have a chance to try it though. Throughout the bathhouse, reflections of light from rippled water play across the surfaces, the walls of which have murals. Day spa-like music is accompanied by the sound of gentle droplets splashing, and several kaleidoscopes of butterflies, which I learned today is the very cool collective noun for butterflies, fly around the space. It's a very tranquil location. I guess until a charge and slamming heavy bursts through the wall. Similarly coloured is the Ramen Cafe. The Vaiiya side of the arena is laced with ever-watching security cameras and stark corporate buildings and research labs. The actual Citadel sits as an isolated brutalist building on the Vaiiya side, which includes a Vaiiya factory and is surrounded by concrete walkways and stairs. A holographic head floats next to it and follows your moves as you move the free cam near it. The head also appears as a black showcased version inside the building. Billboards show a robotic mannequin being assembled, which neatly actually falls in line with Embark's own eventual goal of introducing full bot matches and onboarding modes. Part of the Vaiiya side includes this menacing red server room, the floor of which lights up as you move through it. Other floors on the Vaiiya side have a maze-like pattern to them, reminiscent of the Vaiiya grid with its moving red square. The word under the escape route sign translates to security, almost hinting that there is actually no escape. Level 2 of the Vaiiya corporate building, which is adjacent to the rift, has the sculpture of a snake and what appears to be a jaguar about to engage in a fight. Lastly, this room with a red light on the ceiling is very reminiscent of Mirror's Edge, which several of the Embark developers worked on back in the day, so perhaps a little nod to some of the developers' previous work there. So that draws our little exploration of the Nozomi Citadel arena to an end for the meanwhile. I hope you enjoyed this look at some of the more striking as well as subtle features found around this beautiful cityscape. Let me know what interests you the most about the arena. Thanks for watching this video to the end. A big thank you to the members of my channel for their ongoing support, especially my Black Tier members Linksy, TJ and Thorinike17, and of course to Embark Studios for including me in their content creator program. Both are greatly appreciated. Do the usual YouTube business if you want to see more videos from me from now on. Give a like or comment as you see fit, and enjoy the rest of your day. Kia kaha. Stay strong.
Everybody knows the world ain't right. Down on your knees, get up and fight.